We were sitting in the hospital, and I looked at my husband and I said, this doesn't happen to people, much less people like us. Little did we know just how wrong we were. My name's Christine McAlister. I'm the founder of Life with Passion, and I help high-achieving, motivated women to build the businesses of their dreams. Today I'm going to tell you why I do this, why this work matters so much to me. In early 2015, I was at the end of a perfect textbook pregnancy with a baby whose gender I was waiting to be surprised at birth to discover. I had experienced 3 early miscarriages in the previous year and a half, and so I was thrilled that the early part had gone perfectly and everything subsequently had as well. Nobody was worried, and at 37 weeks, we were putting the car seat in the car waiting to go into labor at any moment. At my routine 37-week doctor appointment, the midwife couldn't find a heartbeat. And everything very quickly became a blur. Bringing in a doctor to check, going to another doctor's office to check in case the machine wasn't working, going straight from there to the hospital to be induced to deliver a baby who had died. We did an ultrasound and found out that it was a little girl, and we named her Maeve, and the drugs, worked over the next 24 hours to get my body to deliver before it was ready. But I needed to, because they told me that the sooner I delivered her, the better she would look, and the more we would enjoy the little bit of time that we had with her. We took pictures, and so I somehow made it through the delivery, even though I told them that they should just drug me in and do a C-section. I made it through the delivery. We took pictures. We gave her a funeral that I planned while I was in labor. And, this began this phase of my life that I could have never imagined going through. Over the next days, weeks, and months, people came out of the woodwork to help us and to offer help and just to show up and do. I was a really, really independent, proud, pretty stubborn person up until that point. And so I never asked for help. And so I found myself in that situation, desperately wanting people to reach out to help, but not being able to ask myself. I said yes anytime someone asked. I got in this mode of saying, yes, I would love that. Thank you so much. Yes, I would love that. Thank you so much. What I discovered was that saying yes opened me up to connecting, opened me up to the joy of receiving, and I had never known that before. I found that what people thought of me became a lot less important in those moments, days, and weeks that passed. And it was odd because I felt like I had to keep reminding myself, now is not the time for you to be worrying about other people. Your baby just died. The truth is that I had been a people pleaser my whole life too. And so I was looking to take care of other people, even in the hospital room, and looking for, people would come to visit me while I was in labor. Oh, let me make a spot for you. Let me, make sure you're taken care of. No, that was instinctive for me. What I needed to focus on and what I learned to focus on was that it was time to take care of myself. There's a time for everything. This is the time to take care of myself. This is not the time to worry about what people thought of me. I needed to grieve and do that in a way that made sense for me. To be honest with you, it made a lot of people mad. I lost some relationships over it, including some close ones. But I found myself. I know that sounds cheesy. Like I found the most important relationship, right? The one with myself. Because before that, things like self-care and self-love, like I always thought, oh, that's selfish. What I discovered is that I rediscovered the person I was when I was a little girl by giving myself permission to receive and by giving myself permission to take care of myself in the way that I needed to and not place what other people thought as more important than what I needed or wanted. I also realized that now I was the girl whose baby had died. Now I was the girl who came home from the hospital without a baby when, a week before or a month before when we had an acquaintance who'd gone through the same thing, we looked at each other and we said, oh, how horrific. I can't even imagine. Now I could imagine. I could imagine pretty damn well. The silences that people started to give me. The people who came out of the woodwork to show up and care for me in some way, and the people who completely disappeared because they couldn't handle it. I had been one of those people who couldn't handle it before because I felt too awkward. Because guess what? It was about me. It was about me and my awkwardness and not being strong enough to stand with someone in their pain. Now I could because I had been to the depths. I got over the fear of being visible and I decided I was going to do work that mattered to me, damn it. Because what else did I have to lose? If I was going to survive the loss of my daughter, I was going to make my life something that mattered. And I was going to do work that mattered. And so I started taking a look at everything that I was doing in my business, which I've been running for a decade and enjoyed a lot of it. But I started looking at, okay, what are the things I don't enjoy? Because you know what? I really get that whole thing about life being short now. I really get that thing about the unexpected happening. And you don't know. No one would have ever predicted that a young, healthy person like me would experience a stillbirth. I didn't know anyone this had happened to, or so I thought. I then discovered that a dear friend had a stillborn sister. I then discovered that there were people literally from all over the world who were messaging me on Facebook and sending me emails and saying, me too, me too, me too. I found out that the statistic is 1 in 160. That's pretty common. And then I started getting emails from people saying, my friend is going through this, someone at my school is going through this. What do I tell them? And I realized that I had a platform and I realized I had a message and I realized I had an opportunity to help others to survive their losses, not only of pregnancies or of children, but maybe of their dreams, to help them rediscover their dreams, to help them take a stand for what they know that they were called for, to help them to maybe not even wait for a tragedy to wake up. Or if they've had a tragedy, to help them discover how to use that strength, the strength that they've gained from surviving it, to transmute into courage to do what they've always dreamed of doing. And that is why I started Life with Passion. That is why I started Life with Passion. That is why I do what I do. I don't want it to take something this drastic or tragic for you to start living the life of your dreams. I want your story to be an upward spiral of joy and generosity and calling from this day forward. I don't want you to be stuck anymore. I don't want you to be overwhelmed anymore. I don't want you to be scared anymore. I don't want you to have a fear of failure. I don't want you to have a fear of what other people think. I want you today to begin from where you are exactly in this moment, building the business and the life of your dreams, because I believe if you have those dreams, then they're meant for you. There's a verse in the Bible that says God gives us the desires of our heart, and there are different ways to look at that, to interpret it. But I love the interpretation that says God literally puts the desires of our heart into our hearts for a reason so that they can then be fulfilled. Isn't that a beautiful cycle to think about? I would love to know what you have been through. What moments in your life have changed you? What moments in your life have changed you? Comment below. I read every comment. I respond to all my comments. Or tell me if you haven't had one of those pivotal moments like this one. Why are you holding yourself back? What are you scared of? I've just shared the most pivotal moment in my life with you. I would love to know. I'd love to know one from your story, from your life. Share with me, or share with me, maybe you haven't had a tragedy. Maybe you haven't been through something like this. I know there was a long time when I thought, oh, I don't really have anything that people would want to listen to because my life hasn't been hard. That's not the case anymore. That is not the case anymore. So what is it for you? What is it for you? I want to know. I want other people to know what you've been through and that you're still standing. There's a magazine called Still Standing that is for parents who've lost a child. And when I first saw the title, it just struck such a chord with me because I was like, yeah, I'm still standing and I'm still walking around. And I can remember the first time I went to the grocery store after I got home. I was pretty much in a daze, but Maeve was born in the worst snowstorm in Lexington, Kentucky's recorded history. So we had nothing when we got home from the hospital. The hospital, of course, was safe because it was a hospital, but we had to have friends in a big farm truck come and pick us up because we couldn't get home. We were completely snowed and iced in. And I would have been in the hospital several more days if it hadn't been for them being willing to, risk their lives and their safety to come and bring us home. So when we could make it out to the grocery store to restock our supplies, I remember just having this sense of walking around the grocery store and going, nobody knows as I'm walking around the grocery store that my baby just died. Nobody knows my baby just died. And if someone says one thing wrong to me, I'm going to lose it. But I also found myself looking around at other people with new eyes, right? Like, I don't know what they're going through. It gave me a real sense of being connected to and empathetic for the human condition at large, because we all walk around with stuff like that. So tell me what yours is. Tell me what it did to you. Tell me if it's done anything for you yet. If you're still looking for that answer, that's okay too. Tell me what's holding you back right now. I want to know. I will respond in the comments. Looking back, if I could change something, it would be that I would have gotten connected to people sooner, that I would have gotten help sooner, that I would have gotten support in my life and my business sooner, that I would have allowed people in sooner. Because I have discovered how much more life there is. In my marriage, being willing to be vulnerable, because hey, guess what? I didn't have a choice anymore. I was pretty strong, I was pretty independent, and I took that into the marriage, and we were told in the hospital that 90% of marriages do not survive the loss of a child. So my husband and I decided that we were going to get really proactive about our relationship, because that's a pretty scary statistic. And part of that proactivity was getting really vulnerable with each other in the way that we grieved. And we both made a decision to use that grief to bring us closer together. Because we were damn determined to be in that 10% whose marriages survived. And I would have gotten support sooner. I'm the person now in my business that I wish I'd had 11 years ago when I was getting started. I am the person who, comes alongside and challenges my clients not to let fear hold them back. Challenges my audience, the thousands of people who follow me, like you, not to let fear hold you back anymore, to take action, to be super hyper strategic and focused so that your action yields results in the business systems and structures. But most importantly, to stop allowing fear, self-doubt, overwhelm, all of those things, feeling stuck, to hold you back anymore. Because at the end of the day, it's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice for me to get up every day and be a person who motivates and inspires and uses my gifts to help others. It's a choice for me not to lock myself in my room with a case of wine and rock and cry in the corner. And yeah, there are plenty of times when I break down crying, and there are plenty of times when the grief feels overwhelming. And when you lose a baby before you ever had the chance to know them, it's a special kind of grief. I don't have many memories, and I was sick for a lot of my pregnancy. And so a lot of it is a fog, because I was just trying to survive, the normal pregnancy symptoms of being pregnant like that for the first time. So I don't have a baby book. I don't have pictures except like 2 sonogram pictures and the ones we took in the hospital with her. But it's a choice. It's a choice. And it's one I'm grateful to make every day. And now with support, because I asked for help and I got help from people I could learn from, I have discovered my true calling. I've discovered my zone of genius, as the author of The Big Leap talks about. I've discovered what gives me energy every day, and I just feel like I'm flying high from. What makes me jump around the room with excitement. What purpose I'm on this earth to serve. That's why I created Life with Passion. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in the comments. Thank you for being you. I know you have unique gifts, and I challenge you to use them today. I challenge you to share your story to do it. My name's Christine McAlister. I'm the founder of Life with Passion. Love to each and every one of you. I'll talk to you soon.